All right, everybody, we're back with the at the buzzer branding because this is an at the buzzer quick hit. I'm Mo Money. There's G, and we had something we wanted to talk about real quick. And the subject of this quick hit will be the Los Angeles Clippers. And G, we've worked this out as to how this is gonna work. I've got 10 minutes on the clock. I'm about to hit start, and then when the buzzer goes, conversation over.
That's
Is that
fair.
fair?
I dig.
All right, so here we go. 10 things wrong with the Clippers in 10 minutes, starting now. First thing wrong with the Clippers,
Mm,
lack of cohesion.
mm,
By that, I mean they've got one basketball and they've got six people who want it. And you don't win too many basketball games going that way.
mm.
That's just my first thought on what's wrong with the Clippers, lack of cohesion. That's part one.
Hmm.
What do you got what do you see that's going wrong with this Clipper franchise?
Number two is actually a name, Steve Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer. Well, this is going to be interesting. How does Steve Ballmer factor into this
Well, I'm a money
destruction of the
guy.
Clippers?
I'm a money guy here on the Money Network, man. And I look at the guy with the money here, Steve Ballmer, and you gotta go. This guy had to sign these checks. This guy had to approve these decisions, if not direct them. So when we're looking at the origin source of some of this mess that we're currently seeing, I'm not sure if you've seen too many of this guy's interviews and stuff beyond his Clippers personality, but like his business personality as a technology slash software businessman is a crazy billionaire is also really like messy. It's like the Clippers. It's messy. So if you're looking for
And
something wrong with the Clippers, there's right at the top a big rotten Steve Ballmer.
okay, thing wrong number three, lack of leadership for the
Mm,
Clippers.
there you go.
Of all the players that the Clippers have, they don't have that leader. They don't have that guy that's like, we need you, get us through this. We know you can do it. We believe in you. They don't have that guy. So
Mhm.
my third thing wrong with the Clippers is that lack of leadership because they don't have it.
That's a good one. I can appreciate that actually. Um, boy, that's a really good point actually. That sums up a lot of their problems. Right. Next one I think is culture. Straight up, it is not a culture developed through any sort of actual effort to develop an interesting identity, an interesting concept. You're the little brother of the Lakers, and just constantly looking to break out and do its own thing, but never actually blazing its own trail and actually doing something. It hasn't succeeded yet. So I feel like the cultural thing is sort of cursed and that thing is real. And until it's broken, it remains real. So there's a cultural piece that's like, you got to get people excited about it. And having dudes injured for 4 years was not a way to build that culture. Like you
Right.
need to do something in the interim. Bring in some crazy dude. Bring in some like crazy dunker. Like you need to do something, and they just let it simmer and sit like the Raptors are doing. So I think culturally, there's something wrong with the Clippers.
Well, I'm gonna figure this out as number five is identity.
Ooh.
The Clippers don't have an identity either to go along with that culture.
Mm-hmm.
They play in our building. They have to walk into our house with all our banners, and they have yet to develop an identity of their own.
Yeah.
As you said, the Clippers are the little brother to the Lakers, and until they can establish their own identity in LA, they're always going to be the little brother. That's the
Mm-hmm.
fifth thing wrong with the Clippers is lack of identity.
Oh, I love the lack of identity because I'm going to say another one. A lack of respect for Norm Powell. You know what I'm saying? My dog Norm has been hustling in the trenches for a long time. But you know what? The point overall was going to be respect. Like, they don't respect the game enough to do it the right way. They wanted to buy their way to the front of the line, they wanted to skip the line. And everybody loves somebody who freaking skips the line, right? It's like, no, we all want to see that person trip because they're cutting all the rest out. They're cutting out the work, the tiring thing, the Mike Malones, the ones that have to grind it out and do it the right way. You're trying to disrespect them by doing it the short way. And you know what? It didn't end up being too short a way for the Clippers. And when I look at the Rockets and I look at some teams that have decided to do it the right way, the Knicks, uh, it's a respect for the game and it's respect for the competition. So lack of
Thing
respect.
number 7, lack of work ethic. And by that I mean everywhere these guys have gone, they've been the best player on their team. And it didn't start that way for PG because when he was in the Indiana, he would really hoop it out. And Kawhi hooped it out until he realized I'm the best player on the team. And then it kind of became about Kawhi.
Mm,
And then you have James Harden, who's always been a cheeseburger short of a Happy Meal when
mhm.
it comes to work ethic. I'm sorry to
that,
say it.
that can go on the bumper stickers for merch. Roll up, write that down.
But the hardest working one is Russell Westbrook.
Mhm,
And and to be honest, they should be following his work ethic. But that's my point for number 7, lack of work ethic.
mhm. That's a great one. Um, and that brings another one just back to the lack of respect, the way that they're treating Russ now. He adapted, he fit their system, had a great start to the season, and the one thing they could do to screw that up, they did it. And it's like you just don't respect what people are trying to do for you, and you just think, anyways. That was the number 6. So we're moving into number 8 here. We're moving into the last bits. Okay. Um, I hate to say it, but it's the guy I've been defending for quite a while now. His name's Kawhi Leonard, and I'm pulling him out specifically as a major root problem with this franchise is because I had such a high, or maybe still do have a certain respect level for him that's expecting a level of professionalism and ability to rise above the noise in the last few seasons, and on the season that I thought he would at least show up for, he's still not able to really pull the troops together. And like you're saying, being a leader and stuff, he's just not demonstrating. He's not even doing it through the actions like he did in Toronto, where it's like just everybody be quiet and follow Kawhi and see what happens. And we did, and it worked out. But there, you're not feeling that vibe. Like it's not that same Kawhi. And I don't know if it's he's lost a step or there's a motivation thing. But without that Kawhi, this Clippers team is never that thing. Like it needed that Kawhi, and he's
Num-
been IA.
Number 9, lack of accountability. There's nobody holding this squad accountable for the mistakes they're making. I can't say it any more simply than that.
Mm,
So I'm going to hand the rest of this minute and a half to you for number 10. What do you got for number 10?
dang, because those all weave into each other so beautifully too. Of like, yeah, one building into the next, and that brings it right almost home too with the accountability of when you don't have accountability, what do you got? You got just anarchy and somebody that's drunk with power and too many resources. And maybe it can bring back to what we were talking about at the buzzer when we're talking about contracting the league, perhaps to get things more competitive and more interesting. And man, I hate to do it, but I think the problem is that the Clippers are even a franchise.
Wow.
They
You
shouldn't
saved the best
exist.
for last, guys.
They shouldn't exist. Get them out. Come on to Vancouver. We'll rename you something that's real. We'll give you a good home. And you can just forget that Steve Ballmer ever happened. You can forget the Clippers ever was a thing. It's a fresh start. That's the best thing I can say about the Clippers at this point.
All right. Well, that's been a quick hit for the disaster that is the Los Angeles Clippers. And as you can tell, we put a lot of thought into this. So we hope you enjoy it. As uh as that was an at the buzzer quick hit for G. I'm Mo Money. And as always, may your ego come from a place that keeps you humble. Much love, like and subscribe, and we'll see you very, very soon with another quick hit here at the buzzer.